For creatives, intellectual property is more than a legal term. It can mean ownership, protection, and new ways to turn creative work into a sustainable business. That was the focus in Lagos as the U.S. Consulate, alongside industry stakeholders, brought music aspirants and professionals together for a 3-day workshop on leveraging intellectual property for economic growth.
Over 3 days, the IP for Growth in Africa Music Industry Workshop brings together music executives, emerging creatives, legal practitioners, and policy stakeholders to examine how effective IP systems can protect creative assets, strengthen music businesses, and create new commercial opportunities.
Mazi in the building.
Convened by the U.S. Consulate General in Lagos, the United States Patent and Trademark Office, the World Intellectual Property Organization, and Nigerian alumni of the American Music Mentorship Program, the workshop ends with a focus on turning knowledge into long-term industry growth. At the closing session, newly appointed U.S. Consul General Brandon Hudspeth emphasizes the importance of deepening U.S.-Nigeria partnerships to expand investment and commercial opportunities across the music industry.
This city produces some of the most amazing music in the world. And I'm thrilled to be back here and to be a part of that. And that is what we are celebrating today. And that is what this workshop is about. This collaboration, this conversation, that is what this is about. Bringing U.S. expertise together with creators, policymakers, professionals, music industry experts. This is how this conversation gets started, and it keeps moving. I don't know where it's going to end up, but I can tell you that, in fact, nobody in this room knows where it's going to end. But I can tell you that as Nigerian music reaches more and more listeners across the country, across the continent, across the globe, and frankly in the United States, that enterprise, coupled with American companies, Nigerian artists, labels, producers, publishers, platforms, that is what creates this business economic engine. And critical to that is the strong intellectual property.
We'll give you good answers.
A forward-looking panel also turns attention to the next generation of music and creative professionals examining how they can help move Nigeria's creative industry further toward the $1 billion milestone.
I think we're always looking for global ways and learning from best practices from the US, which I love, but I also like what are the worst practices from the US that doesn't work there, because maybe it might work here. Right? So like something that works here that they can't necessarily do as well is that, like, you know, NCC can go and take down their websites because they have illegal music on there, right? Or NCC can help us with roadside music restaurants that are illegally playing music if the CMO was working. So essentially I think diversifying revenue streams and looking at other ways of making money.
Nollywood has gotten way more money than the music industry.
Right,
and in 5 years, because the resurgence of Afrobeats, or where we are right now, was a 5-year journey from COVID. And in 5 years, we went from where we were to a Grammy win. We went from where we were to a Grammy performance. And top of my head, Nollywood has had a $10 million budget on one movie, half of a Yellow Sun. Do you understand? With proper Hollywood actors, and we still do not get Oscar nominations. And now the Nollywood industry is so fragmented that we have now reverted back to, you know, what it used to be back in the day. So what we need to do is to be able to properly scale, to be able to build infrastructure, and like Kola said, just collaborate more.
Part of the reason why we're here today is we're educating them on their intellectual property, the product they've done. How do you make money from these products? How do you even start to feed yourself from these products? So that's the reason why we gathered here today. And I mean, we gathered here for 3 days and we train them on how to create the product, market the product, and make money from the product.
First of all, I'd like to start with the whole concept of the IP, intellectual property. I did not know that they're literally divided into 3 segments. I just thought just sign a split sheet and that was enough. Apparently you have to know your IP and you have to know who owns what, so you know what you're getting back should the royalties start coming in.
As the three-day workshop closes, stakeholders stress that Nigeria's music industry has more than creative potential. With the right intellectual property systems in place, that creativity can become a stronger engine for investment, business, and economic growth.